Despite the fact that there are all different kinds of individuals in the world, some stand out more than others. The Sigma guy is an especially fascinating species that doesn't seem to fit into any certain pattern. They are the lone wolves, the outliers, and the ones that follow their own path. Here are 11 things Sigma guys never do. Number 1, despite the fact that it might be challenging to define exactly what characterizes a Sigma male. The Sigma male never says anything that might offend someone or cause a problem because he is aware that sometimes it's better to remain silent and let others speak. They know when to keep their mouths shut. Sometimes it's best to keep quiet and let others speak. Silence can speak volumes without ever saying a word. They frequently use silence as a way to test others. By remaining silent, they see how the other person reacts. This is a great way to get to know someone because they are more likely to reveal their true thoughts and feelings when there is no pressure to speak. However, sometimes it's really difficult to keep silence. The Sigma male is the strong silent type. He doesn't feel the need to fill every silence with meaningless chatter. He is comfortable with silence and knows how to use it to his advantage. They don't live for the weekend since life is too short to wait for the weekend, and the Sigma guy is satisfied to blend in and observe what is occurring on around him. The average person uses the weekend as a chance to party and let loose after a long week of work, but the Sigma male sees this as an opportunity to get ahead while others are sleeping in. The Sigma is up early and making the most of the day because, as they say, the early bird gets the worm, and he isn't afraid to work for it. You might think the Sigma male is all work and no play, but that isn't the case. He knows how to balance work and play, he doesn't let his work consume him, and he also doesn't waste his time on pointless activities. Number 3, they don't try to be an example at all. You don't have to have all the answers, and it's okay to be wrong. Acting as though you know everything is a surefire way to end up looking foolish. We frequently see people trying to act like they know more than they actually do. They make grandiose statements and try to sound smart, but oftentimes Sigma males are not afraid to admit when they don't know something. They know it's impossible to know everything and they're not afraid to ask for help when needed. They are humble and teachable and understand that we can all learn from each other. There is no shame in acknowledging that you require help. When a Signal meets someone new, he doesn't try to impress them with his knowledge. Instead, he's humble and curious, and he's more interested in learning about them than in impressing them. This makes him more approachable and likable, and people are drawn to his sincerity and openness, increasing their likelihood of wanting to be around him. Number 4, they never try to please everyone. You can't make everyone happy and you'll only end up disappointing yourself. It's simple to become preoccupied with what other people think of us. We compare ourselves to others and want to emulate their success, yet this not only breeds jealousy and anger but also detracts from our own distinctive qualities and abilities. Sigma men are aware that they don't have to win everyone over in order to be successful. Instead, they concentrate on their own objectives and aspirations while letting those who disagree with them vent. They understand that their chosen path is unique, and that no one else can walk it or fully comprehend it. 5. They will not allow themselves to be used or manipulated. There are many people in this world who are experts at taking advantage of others. They are manipulative and seductive, but single males never allow themselves to be used. They know their worth and will not tolerate being treated like a doormat. If someone tries to take advantage of them, they will quickly put an end to it. While it's important to respect other people's opinions, you should never let them control your life. While many people live in a constant state of worry, always trying to please others and conform to their expectations, this is not the Sigma way. Sigmas are not afraid to be different, they embrace their uniqueness, and they are comfortable with who they are. They live their lives according to their own standards and values. It's unhealthy to constantly compare yourself to others because it breeds jealousy, resentment, and feelings of inferiority. This way of thinking is particularly detrimental when it comes to success because it makes us see other people's accomplishments as a threat rather than something to strive for. We frequently ask ourselves, why them, not me? I'm equally as excellent as they are. It's a lose-lose scenario to constantly compare yourself to others because there will always be someone who achieves greater success than you. The more successful you become, the more others will do the same. Since everyone is on their own road and success is relative, Sigma is aware that it is pointless to constantly compare himself to others. He is comfortable with who he is and doesn't need to prove anything to anybody. Instead of comparing yourself to others, you should realize that doing so would only lead to disappointment. The best version of yourself as you can. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. As long as you were making progress, you were on the right track. 8. They don't talk down to people. Being haughty and speaking down to others not only makes you look bad, it also makes you feel bad. Concentrate on your own journey and don't worry about what everyone else is doing. There is a major difference between being confident and being arrogant. Confidence is based on genuine success, but arrogance is based on the mistaken notion that you are superior than others. Arrogance is a type of insecurity and is a means of hiding your own inadequacies by putting others down. The Sigma guy exudes confidence yet never belittles others. No one is better than anybody else. Everyone is on an equal footing. Sigma respects everyone, regardless of their social standing or accomplishments, and while speaking with someone, he is constantly mindful of their body language and tone of voice. He never raises his voice or talks over others, since doing so would just make him appear to be a bully. The Sigma guy is confident because he understands his own value. He doesn't need to tear others down in order to feel good about himself. People sometimes misinterpret this confidence for arrogance, but that couldn't be further from the truth. 9. They refrain from talking over other individuals. Interrupting people is disrespectful since it implies that you don't appreciate what they have to say. The Sigma man never interrupts other people when they are speaking. He wants to hear what everyone has to say since it is valuable. The Sigma man believes that this kind of thinking is harmful to both himself and others because interrupting others causes you to look rude and immature, which is the last thing you want to do. You are so focused on yourself that you don't take the time to listen to what others have to say. You think your opinion is the only one that matters, so you start acting like you are the only people in the room. The Sigma man understands that there is no need for dominance and that just because they have something to say, they don't necessarily need to say it right away. Instead, they make notes in their minds and wait for the proper moment to speak. Women adore this because it demonstrates genuine interest in their opinions and respect for them. 10. They seldom receive acclaim for doing the right thing since life is not a popularity contest, and Sigma guys act honorably out of a sense of duty rather than out of a desire for attention or applause. While alpha males frequently need praise and recognition to feel good about themselves, the Sigma man is content with doing good simply because it is the right thing to do and realizes that his actions speak louder than words and that the only approval he needs is from himself. He leads by example and never asks for anything in return. When alpha men start out to do something creative, especially if it seems a little unusual, they frequently seek approval from those least inclined to give it. However, a creative life cannot be sustained by approval any more than it can be destroyed by criticism. Sigmas prefer the sharpest criticism of a single intelligent man to the thoughtless approval of the masses. 11. If you complain, you turn yourself into a victim and should either leave the situation, alter it, or accept it. Anything else is folly. The Sigma guy is a doer, not a complainer. He never justifies his behavior or places the responsibility for his issues on others because he understands that whining never solves anything. Sigma male always makes sure he never puts himself in a situation where he has to make excuses because doing so is a sign of weakness and a lack of responsibility. It implies that you are not in control of your life and are unable to accept responsibility for your actions. When someone is always grumbling or finding excuses, it is one of the least appealing traits about them and it makes the other person uncomfortable. Women will never choose to be with a man who is always grumbling. No one wants to be around someone who is constantly negative and puts them down, not just ladies but everyone in general.